In an industry built on constant motion, there are rare moments when the noise softens and reflection takes over. Recently, attention surrounding Ben Affleck has created one of those pauses, reminding Hollywood and audiences alike that even the most familiar faces carry private lives beyond the screen. While public discussion has grown louder, the deeper story is not one of crisis, but of humanity. Affleck, whose career has unfolded in full public view for decades, stands as a reminder that longevity in fame comes with emotional weight. These moments invite consideration rather than conclusion, understanding rather than assumption. They also challenge how stories are told, especially when curiosity outpaces verified fact. At its core, this moment is less about headlines and more about the quiet reality of being human under a microscope. It encourages a softer lens, one that allows space for dignity, privacy, and perspective, even for those whose lives feel endlessly visible. The emotional cost of public speculation. Fame offers visibility, but it also removes insulation. For public figures, speculation can quickly become a burden, particularly when it touches on personal well-being or family life. In recent weeks, conversations around Ben Affleck have demonstrated how easily narratives can form without confirmation, driven more by repetition than reality. Even when unfounded, constant scrutiny can take an emotional toll, turning ordinary moments into public discussion. Those familiar with life in the spotlight understand that silence is often mistaken for confirmation, when in truth it is simply a boundary. This pattern highlights a broader issue within celebrity culture, the tendency to prioritize immediacy over accuracy. For Affleck, a figure long associated with openness and self-reflection, the challenge becomes maintaining equilibrium while the world speculates. The moment underscores why compassion matters, not as a gesture of fandom, but as a recognition of shared emotional limits. A career defined by growth, not perfection. Ben Affleck's professional journey has never followed a straight line, and that unpredictability has shaped his connection with audiences. From early success to creative setbacks and eventual reinvention, his career reflects persistence rather than polish. Over time, Affleck has evolved from actor to filmmaker, from headline subject to storyteller, demonstrating a willingness to learn publicly. This evolution resonates because it mirrors real life, progress shaped by mistakes, resilience, and self-awareness. Rather than distancing him from audiences, these chapters have made him more relatable. His work behind the camera in particular reflects a deeper engagement with storytelling and leadership. In an industry often obsessed with reinvention for its own sake, Affleck's growth feels earned. It is rooted in experience rather than image. This context makes moments of public concern feel less dramatic and more human, framed within a life spent navigating complexity with increasing intention. Life beyond the red carpet. Away from premieres and press tours, life settles into routines that rarely attract attention but carry real meaning. For someone like Ben Affleck, this quieter space is where balance is built. Like many people entering midlife, priorities shift towards sustainability, health, family, and long-term fulfillment, rather than constant visibility. Those close to him have long noted a preference for simplicity outside professional obligations, choosing presence over performance. This part of life rarely fits into headlines, yet it defines personal stability. The contrast between public perception and private reality often fuels misunderstanding, especially when normal life is interpreted through an extraordinary lens. Affleck's approach reflects a broader truth. Success does not eliminate the need for rest, boundaries, or reflection. It simply changes the stakes. By stepping back from unnecessary exposure, he aligns with a growing recognition that well-being is built quietly, not announced loudly. Family as an anchor in public life. Throughout his career, one constant has remained clear. Family sits at the center of Ben Affleck's world. He has consistently spoken about parenthood as his most meaningful role, one that grounds him regardless of professional highs or lows. In moments of public attention, his focus has remained on maintaining normalcy and emotional security for his children. Co-parenting with Jennifer Garner has been described as thoughtful and cooperative, rooted in mutual respect and shared responsibility. These efforts rarely make headlines, yet they reflect a maturity that often goes unnoticed. Family, in this sense, becomes both refuge and compass. It offers perspective when public narratives grow loud and keeps priorities clear. For Affleck, protecting this foundation appears intentional, even when speculation intensifies. It is a reminder that behind every public figure exists a private network of relationships that matter far more than public opinion. Partnership and shared understanding. Ben Affleck's relationship with Jennifer Lopez has captured public interest, not because of spectacle, but because it represents evolution. Their reunion, years after first crossing paths, reflects growth shaped by experience rather than nostalgia. Together, they navigate visibility with a measured balance, present when required, private when possible. Observers often note a sense of mutual understanding rooted in shared history and individual growth. Rather than amplifying pressure, partnership can offer steadiness, especially in an environment that magnifies every detail. While much of their life remains intentionally private, their public interactions suggest alignment rather than performance. In an industry where relationships are often framed as narratives, theirs appears grounded in reality. This dynamic highlights the value of companionship built on maturity, communication, and respect. During moments of external attention, such partnership can provide quiet reassurance, reinforcing the idea that personal strength is often shared rather than solitary. An industry choosing reflection. Overreaction. Hollywood's response to recent attention surrounding Affleck has been notably restrained. Instead of fueling speculation, colleagues and collaborators have continued to speak with respect, emphasizing professionalism and creative focus. This measured reaction reflects a growing awareness within the industry of the consequences of unchecked narratives. Many recognize that actors are not characters, and real lives deserve boundaries. Rather than panic or projection, the prevailing tone has leaned toward patience and perspective. This shift signals progress in an environment long driven by immediacy. It also sets an example for audiences, suggesting that silence can be respectful rather than suspicious. By allowing space instead of assumption, the industry acknowledges a fundamental truth: sustainability in creative work depends on humanity being honored. For Affleck, this response reinforces trust built over years of collaboration. It shows that reputation, when grounded in consistency and integrity, can withstand moments of public uncertainty. Fans, empathy, and evolving celebrity culture. Fan culture has changed, and recent reactions illustrate that shift. Instead of amplifying rumor, many supporters have chosen empathy, sharing appreciation for Ben Affleck's work and expressing respect without demanding access. This response reflects a more conscious engagement with celebrity, one that values restraint alongside admiration. Fans increasingly recognize that concern does not require speculation, and support does not require intrusion. In Affleck's case, this measured response has helped redirect attention toward his contributions rather than conjecture. It also highlights the emotional investment audiences feel, built over decades of shared cultural moments. When handled thoughtfully, that connection can be supportive rather than invasive. This evolution suggests a healthier relationship between public figures and audiences, one where admiration coexists with boundaries. It reinforces the idea that celebrities are not public property, but people whose work invites appreciation without sacrificing personal dignity. Aging, wellness, and shared experience. The broader conversation sparked by recent attention extends beyond one individual. It touches on universal themes of aging, self-care, and long-term balance. Watching familiar figures navigate midlife often prompts reflection, reminding audiences that change is natural and adaptation is necessary. For Ben Affleck, this stage appears focused on intention rather than intensity, choosing projects carefully and prioritizing well-being. These choices mirror decisions many people face as responsibilities shift and perspectives mature. The absence of dramatic declarations does not signal disengagement, but rather thoughtful continuity. Wellness is not a milestone. It is a process shaped by daily decisions and support systems. In this light, the moment becomes relatable rather than exceptional. It invites understanding instead of analysis, reminding viewers that growth does not end with success. It simply becomes quieter, deeper, and more personal. Closing thoughts. Humanity. Over headlines, when stripped of exaggeration, this moment in Ben Affleck's life tells a familiar story, one of reflection, responsibility, and quiet perseverance. It is not defined by rumor or reaction, but by continuity and intention. Fame may amplify visibility, but it does not erase vulnerability. By approaching such moments with care, media and audiences alike can contribute to a culture that values humanity over spectacle. Affleck's story, viewed through this lens, becomes less about concern and more about respect. It reminds us that strength is not always loud and growth is not always visible. As attention shifts forward, the enduring takeaway is simple: people deserve space to live beyond the narratives written for them. At Celeb News Daily, we believe stories are strongest when they honor that truth. informing without intruding, and connecting without compromising compassion.